tell you about all the great things that are going on at that park. From Knoebels Amusement Resort, Rick, Dick, and Brian.
Whoever's wearing something Knoebels, can you stand up? I just want to. Wow, look at that.
I think we got 10%.
Oh, the logo on the lanyard.
Hey, before you get started, I gotta tell Dino something.
Here comes.
Dino, the number 16 Eli wheels originally came through with a hollow main shaft, and ours broke. So instead of taking it down, we just had scaffold up on the outside that went in, got a solid piece of hardened steel, the same diameter as the hole, set there with two cover logs ratcheted in. That works. That
works. When he started that, I thought he was going to bring up how you said you got fired again. 90% of the comments were, when are you getting back to a 10 o'clock closing? So we're creeping back. Little by little, we're getting there. So you can see this year, and last year, as you know, Fridays and Saturdays were till 9. This year we added Wednesdays, Thursdays till 9. So you know, we're creeping back little by little. And so there's the entire operating calendar on there.
All right. Here's your important dates. Opening day, brought to you by Eastern PA Ace.
And we got to thank Mike and Janine for bringing a great crowd of great Ace people to the park that day. Regardless of whether they always show up.
Each of you have a little bit of a homework assignment because, as Mike announced earlier, Ace Day in July, coming to Knoebels. The behind the scenes was to be determined, right? We're open to suggestions. What do each of you want to see? Let us know. So maybe toward the Q&A at the end, or let Mike know. We're happy to listen to some of your suggestions.
All right, here we go with some winter projects, and there's quite a few. Brian's going to speak mostly here. Oh, there's a play on this.
Now, Dad hasn't seen this yet. Don't tell him. We're spending some of his money.
I knew about that one. help me tear down a house. No. Right before you get to the park, about a mile outside the park. That's where we plan to put our solar field.
Yeah, that's not in this at all, but yes, we're planning on building a solar field about a mile from the canal, from the park towards the beach.
Wasn't I supposed to say that?
I said we were supposed to say that.
Well, stay tuned.
How many people were at Phoenix Fall Fun Fest last year?
You all roll the
That's
rocket
about-
plane? Did all of you ride it?
Yeah, all right, good deal. Yeah,
If you remember, the rocket plane came from Joyland Park in Texas.
right. There's some Joyland Park things over there for sale. So Giant Log Flume, as we talked about that, finally opened August the 2nd, but boy, a lot of work. Kudos to John Fetterman, Brady Petrovich, Whitewater. We all work collectively with our team. C&D Rigging came in, and sure, of course, we were hoping for a July 4th opening, but hey, we got it back together faster than flying turns.
Part of that flume came from Kittyland in Chicago. Yeah, the Kittyland in Chicago had an exact matching piece to our flume ride, and we were able to. It didn't match exactly. The holes didn't line up perfectly.
No,
It was
we got a
close enough.
hybrid. We got a hybrid.
So of course we're gonna move down draft to the other side of the park where our Chance Wipeout used to sit. We're gonna tuck that over there. As you all know, on these busy Saturdays in the park, there's certain sections of the park that it's kind of overly crowded. I know everybody in this room wants Knoebels 1985 when nobody knows about it and it's not as busy. So one of the things I want to do is what we want to do, spread the crowd out. So let's move the downdraft over there, try to build up that area where the Fandango is. We're gonna get the Monkey Madness game back open this year. We're talking about some like a food stand over there, just to help spread the crowd. So and then maybe some future things coming down the pike, in a few years to continue, building up that little section. So, kind of embarrassed when we bought this one, and it never opened last year. The previous Zamperla Power Surge was a trailer-mounted ride, and the new one we bought is park model. And as we were unearthing, as we were digging to put a concrete pad in the ground, or concrete slug, I should say, lo and behold, there were multiple conduits of PP&L. Our electric company knew where the power was at here and knew where the power was at over there. They didn't know how it got from point A to point B. And it's the same company that you're supposed to call. Somebody relayed this to me. Same company you're supposed to call the PA1 call. Well, they didn't know where it was at. So the electric company said, you're not putting the ride there. We tried to say, no, hang on a second. You have wire encased in the rubber, encased in conduit, encased in concrete. Nothing's going to happen. Nope, not putting it there. So he fought. I think Dad was going to slug them. But in the end.
Also down there was the main fiber optic cable to the big ComSat station up toward Catawissa, which is the main communications link to Europe. And if you touch that, you might as well head for China.
Yeah, the main AT&T's main line to Europe for satellite communications was directly through the center of the park.
And the concrete slug would have been about a foot from it. So we're going to move Power Surge right where the downdraft was, and we're going to angle it in a way that kind of the feet are out toward the crowd. I had the neatest conversation behind the scenes. Many of you know John Fetterman. Not our state senator, John Fetterman. Our John Fetterman, who we love, who's family to us. And he said, you know, one of the neat things about like a Universal Studios is when you're wearing that over the shoulder restraint, and they can kind of bring a trick right into your face, and you can't touch it because you're in that over the shoulder restraint. You know, you have those alligator arms. And, well, we can't do that. You know, we, it's almost like we encourage people to punch the serpent that's in the Haunted Mansion. So, try it. It'll hurt your hand. But it was kind of a just conversation that we had as a family to, let's put the power surge there. So the feet will be, as you're coming down the midway into the park, impulse on your right, giant wheel on your left, and the power surge will be right there, feet going up in the air. So we're hoping that you know, you're going to like it just as much as we do. Of course, every year, you know, lots of work on our coasters. I bet we probably have 24 people crawling all over our coasters 5-6 days a week. It's back-breaking, grueling. It's cold. It's windy. Much like being on the wheel, Dino. It's kind of windy up there. You always like to see flying turns photos?
We take the flying turn chassis and take them right down almost to the last nut and bolt. Check everything, put it back. And it was designed that everything is redundant. So I have to do twice as much work.
All the chassis move, like from the front becomes the back, and the middle becomes the front, and so forth. So all the pieces are in rotation.
This had the second largest applause earlier, you know, with Sky Slide being the loudest. What Rick and I could tell. You know, we continue to work on the ride. Sure, we could use 20 more people to join the staff. Dad just doesn't want to pay them. So, 20 volunteers maybe, put this ride together. It is slow. So little by little, you know, the ride's coming along. Same thing on our Phoenix, which turns 40 years old this year.
Well, it had a second rebirth, you know.
Right. It says painted the entire coaster. Painting, currently painting. Just a little cold right now, but we'll have it done by opening day.
Sky Slide.
Lots of work needs done to it. Those I-beams that are underneath the ride, we have to rebuild some of those. So we're talking about different ways to hoist up the structure, replace, cut that out of there, replace it, set it back down to, you know, just little by little, like I said about Iron Curve, same thing for our Sky Slide. But, you know, there's people that are like, oh, get rid of it, it's low capacity, you're a park that, right? I mean, you know, this family is all about preservation. So, no, absolutely. I don't think the people that suggested put something else in, I don't think they were even able to finish their sentence or their suggestion before it was, you know, him, all right, next subject.
Well, I want to add this. You probably don't know this, but the Sky Slide was originally up where the galleon is. And we had a crane come and picked it up. And they took two 40-foot trailers, bolted them together. We sat on that, went down the road. The crane picked it up on a new foundation. There it was.
So, slowly but steady, right? Here's our one of our favorite slides.
Just like the last slide was caring for the classics. There's another one. So look at this, 70 years old for our Rogers hand cars and the motorboat. We thought the hand cars came from another park. Dick said, no, they were brand new. So our hand cars were brand new 70 years ago this year. So, fantastic. Our motorboats, and you saw we replace a motorboat every now and then, but Yeah, we're
The
building.
original ones came from Myers Lake Park out in Ohio.
There you go.
And I was on the truck bus, half of them.
We have a lot of other anniversaries this year too. We have both our trains. So, yeah.
You know, there's kind of a cool story here many people don't know. So, you know, the chassis, like it says, they're from nickel plate. When we cut the trees down to build the Black Diamond, there was a lot of poplar trees in there. We had those milled, we put them on the side so they could dry. We then rebuilt the chassis for Old Smoky using the poplar lumber that we took out for the Black Diamond. I don't know how many people know that story.
Well, the same way, the trees we cut out of the giant flume area, we shot them up right there with a portable mill, and that's what we used to build the station.
That's right.
Waste not, want not.
And Old Smoky came in 1960, but like I said, the train we had before that originally had a Model T engine in it. And you sat sideways on it, like this, and you pushed the pedals with your hand. Around about 1948, my dad and I went down to a Crosley car company dealer in Northumberland. He bought a Crosley engine and we put the Crosley in it.
All right.
That had an overhead cam in it.
Okay. All right. The Rotojet and the Flume Ride. The Flume Ride was built in 1990, as Brian said about the the trees were cut to make the station. Yeah. So
Yeah, what he does.
a fantastic ride. Rotojets, by the way, we got it at the Freedom Land auction in New York City.
Before that, it was at Forest Park in St. Louis.
There you go. That was actually where the first flying turtles was from. So there we go. The fire trucks and the Paradrop. Produced Paradrop, by the way. Where's Ryan? Wow. It was originally bought from Dorney Park.
They had bought it down at the shore and it was in their boneyard and never got it up.
Yeah.
So I took it off their hands.
Yeah.
The fire truck, we bought them from Gary Chubb. You know Gary Chubb used to be at Hershey.
Right. The Fandango and the Flying Tigers. Brian has a great story of the Flying Tigers if we have time.
So we were walking around IAPA Expo, 20 years ago, and my daughter was 4 or 5 at the time, and my mom was watching Haley, and she's riding this ride at the expo with Ramon, and she saw my dad out in the crowd walking by, and she said, Grandpa, you have got to buy me this ride. And sat Ramon back all the way to the bank. So, yeah, all right, Haley, I'll buy it for you.
The next year, her sister Hannah called me. Says, Grandpa, what ride are you gonna buy me this year?
Haley got the next few years, they got free IAPA badges from Ramon. Come down and buy a ride from me.
There's a 10-year anniversary too coming up. Anybody can guess from this photo? M-Balls.
Balls, correct.
Right. So there you go. I was a lot thinner then.
You mentioned the whip.
That's
You did,
right.
yeah. So behind the scenes, we're having some conversations. Our documentation says the whip opened 1948. Dad says it did not. It was 1950, he said. So there's a little.
Prior to that, we had an 8-car portable whip. It sat outside, no roof or nothing. And it sat right in front of where you go into the Oasis, right there. And then we built the Alamo the next year.
All right.
Winter of 48, 49. So in the summer of 49, the
Wait,
8-car whip.
Wait, let me cut you off. If anybody wants to hear this story, we have 66 seconds. That's it. We're getting a side eye, Dad.
I never thought they'd cut us off.
We're going.
diameter of 49 feet. If you're not determined, you never get the job done.
And for 40 years, anybody recognize the song?
Oh my god. Is he here?
And I fly with the Eagles. Now you're wasting time. You saw the older man in the front seat of the Phoenix car with me. That was
Frank Hoover.
Frank Knoebel. He was a carpenter who originally helped build the rocket in San Antonio.
He also helped build Mr. Twister in Denver.
And he came down up there in Montreux where he lived. We rode the ride, and at the end of the ride he says, "Dick, you got a good ride."
I think everyone in this room agrees. So, again, talking about humbling, just, you know, our family continues to be humbled by the awards, and each and every one of you, whoever are the voters, we don't know, but thank you. No calories. Mike, that could be one of your challenges.
German sushi.
We posted something the other day, and they said you need a map just for your food alone. Oh, that's a pretty good idea, right?
And we have a new merchandise item coming.
Yes! Finally.
I was.
There we go.
Do you remember that? That list we saw in the, I have a newsletter about the best family-owned theme parks in the world. We were number 8 in the world.
Lulu.
Huh?
That was in Blue Loop.
Lulu, okay, Lulu. But we were number 8 in the world,
All right.
and there was only one other park ahead of us. The other parks were Europe. There were only two Pennsylvania, two American parks in the top 10.
Matt might know what that other park was. Congratulations, Matt.
So yeah. So yeah, we have a lot of other merchandise coming out. We're not ready to show the pics yet, but yeah, we have great 40-year anniversary merchandise for the Phoenix and 10 years for the Impulse. So, yeah, we turned 100 next year. So, yeah, we have a lot of different things planned. So we have work's been started. Oh, we're gonna be pushed off the stage here.
And we have a lot of committees in the park, or on our team, I should say, moving forward with, plans for our 100th. So, Quinn had to leave, so I would have said, given that the stay tuned hat,
Yeah.
to each of you.
That's that cliche, stay tuned.